864A, State of Texas versus Preston Wade Graham. He is present with his attorney, Todd Smith. Chris Votto's here on behalf of the state. Mr. Graham, tell me your date of birth.
12/5/98.
Can you read and write the English language?
Yes, sir.
Are you a United States citizen?
Yes, sir.
You're not?
Oh,
United States citizen? Yes. I want to be clear, but not confusing. Yeah. No, you are a United States citizen. Yes, I presumed, but I wasn't sure. Okay. Did you, Mr. Graham and Mr. Smith, did you go over these plea agreement paperwork?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign the paperwork?
Yes, sir.
Before you signed it, did Mr. Smith explain it to you?
Yes, sir.
And if you had any questions about this, did Mr. Smith answer all your questions?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Graham, tell me for the record, did you and Mr. Smith go through what's called discovery in the case?
Yes, sir.
Was there offense reports?
Yes, sir.
Okay, was there videos?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And if, in the course of discovery, I know this has taken a while, but if you had any questions of Mr. Smith, you asked him some legal questions, something about the facts, did he answer all your questions?
Yes, sir.
And also, I think an investigator was appointed to your case, is that true?
Yes, sir.
Did he review facts with you, review evidence, and help you kind of understand what the state's case was about?
There may be little assist there. Mr. Daly mainly assisted me, and I was the primary individual going over discovery with my client.
Okay.
And Mr. Daly mainly was utilized to contact witnesses for potential defense in this case, because we originally had no expectation that we would be going to trial.
Okay, and Mr. Smith, did if Mr. Graham asked you questions, to your knowledge, y'all went over all the discovery?
We have, Judge. We have met numerous times. I've been able to sit through interviews that Mr. Daly's conducted. If not, I've been able to review the audio. I don't believe that the district attorney's office failed to provide me anything in this case. Mr. Votto, every single time I requested additional evidence, got to me quickly, and I was able to review everything with my client.
Okay, and do you believe Mr. Graham is competent?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Graham, in this case, you're charged with murder. The state's proceeding with paragraph A. And have you reviewed the indictment, the charge with the victim, Mr. Herrera? Have you gone over that with Mr. Smith?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How do you plead to murder, paragraph A?
I think yes.
Okay. Now, I know Mr. Smith talked to you about this, and you heard me talk to another individual about this. This plea agreement, as I understand, is for 30 years confinement in the institutional division of Texas Department of Criminal Justice. Is that what you understand, Mr. Graham?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The way I understand the law, and I think Mr. Smith and Mr. Votto would concur, you are not eligible for parole until you've served at least half that sentence. Is that what you understand?
Yes, sir.
There's no guarantee at that point you would be released. I believe it's based on numerous factors: the offense, how well you do in prison, how you interact with individuals, kind of what you do from this day forward. And so there's no guarantee you'll be released in 15 years. Is that what you understand?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Smith, you want to say something?
Yes,
Okay.
Judge. Once we received the offer of 30 years in this case, I met with my client on multiple occasions. We talked about the fact that he would have to do 15 years day for day, including the time he already has, before he'd even be eligible. I also explained to him that there's a decent chance that he may not parole out at 15 years. It may take some additional time. We also talked about the factors that parole will consider currently, which could change in the future of whether they grant parole. And I think we've been able to prove, I think, about 3 different means to be able to address all those issues.
Okay. Knowing all that, Mr. Graham, do you still persist and plead guilty to the murder case?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to find, Mr. Graham, you made your plea of guilty freely, voluntarily, that you are competent. Ask the state to come forward with their evidence.
Thank you. At this time, the state officer states 1, the stipulation of evidence, states 2, the offense report, and autopsy.
Okay.
No objection, Judge.
So states 1 and 2 are admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. Judge, I'll just say the victim has 2 daughters in the courtroom today. We've talked multiple times about this plea agreement. They're comfortable with the terms of it, and there is no impact statement to give them. They're happy to be here and see it.
Okay. So, Mr. Graham, based on the state's evidence and your plea of guilty, I'm going to find you guilty of murder in this cause, assess a 30-year prison sentence in the Institutional Division of Texas Department of Criminal Justice. And like we talked about, Mr. Graham, there's no guarantees. It's probably a great deal is up to you how you behave or how you conduct yourself in the prison sentence. Does this wrap up all of Mr. Graham's cases?
Does Judge?
Judge.
Okay. So we're in recess. Thank you, gentlemen.
You may want to get off that.